Hey everybody, Shel Brodnax here with another fantastic episode, because you know they are all fantastic episodes of Stager Talk. And I'm excited because I've got Joanna Segoviano. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Shel?
I'm super excited to have you because we're going to talk about, we've been on before. You this year submitted to speak at RESACON, and I was super stoked to see your session come through, because there are so many people right now that are kind of like on that fence. Do I scale? Do I not? How do I do it? What's going to happen with my team? And you know, the mindset, we all know, anybody who's ever done this, we understand what it's like to be at that point. You're at this precipice, was like, what do I do? And you're scared to death to pull the trigger.
Yes, I'm really excited. I think building a team is something that I'm very passionate about. I've been working on this since day one, and I think I've gotten really good at it. So I'm glad to be speaking on it.
The good news I keep saying on these Stager Talks about RESACON with all of our speakers is that I'm so excited to know that people that are willing to teach other people because they've made these mistakes and they've learned from them, and they're everybody that is speaking at RESACON, these people have got the kindness of their hearts that are doing this to be able to share with you, to help you get to where you want to go faster and more efficiently on top of it, because you're going to be able to avoid a lot of the pitfalls that you have actually been able to overcome, and you pivot and you learn and you move forward. So Joanna's topic is actually called, I'm just going to read it: how to work on your business, not in your business, stop controlling and start delegating to achieve massive growth. And I love it because, like I said, there's so many people that are right there, and it's scary to add on staff. I know when I did it here at RESA, it's like, how am I going to afford to pay them? Where are we going to get the money? How are you going to do all this? And somehow miraculously just happens.
It's a miracle. It feels like a miracle. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm pulling off 20,000 in payroll every month.
Right? And then you're like, okay, all right, I did that.
I could do this.
I did that. But it is so scary in the beginning, right? So give me just a couple examples of how, if somebody's in that situation, it's a mindset. You and I both know it's a mindset issue, but what are just a couple tips to be able to help somebody deal with changing that mindset and deciding just to do it?
Yeah. So I like to work backwards. I like to see my end goal. Like, what's my goal for the whole year? And I know that last year, 2022, it was the big scary goal of hitting $1 million in revenue. So in order for me to achieve that, I started working backwards. Okay, well, how many homes is that staged a month? What's the average price point that I'm charging for those homes so that it can equal to $83,833 a month? And how many personnel does that take? Does my team have the capacity to perform and to keep up with that? So I think for me, anything that I can suggest is to work backwards. Like, first of all, what's your goal for the year? Because some people don't want to have a big team. Some people don't want to stage 20 to 35 houses a month like I do. Some people are okay with just staging maybe under 10 houses a month. So it really comes down to, what do you want for the year? Do you want to do maybe $250,000, $500,000, $1 million in gross revenue? So once you identify that, then you kind of just break down your numbers and you see, well, how many homes is that a month? For me, my magic number is 20 a month. If I could stage 20 houses a month at 4,000 each project on average, then I hit my goal of $1 million in revenue. And for me, that requires 3 movers and 2 stagers. And that transition's big because sometimes we need extra personnel. And that's when I reach out to the staffing agencies. I'm like, I need an extra mover. Or I tell my niece, I need your help with staging this week. So sometimes making that next step is scary, but it's definitely necessary if you want to achieve that end goal. So I think it would start there. What are you trying to achieve for the year? Yeah, because not everyone wants a big company. It's very stressful.
Facts, absolutely. And I use the exercise when I'm working with stagers as well, work backwards. I always say, work backwards from everything with your staging business. What is your vision from your business? Think 10 years down the line. If you could fast forward 10 years and map out the perfect business of how you envision it in your brain, write that down, and then take each part of it and create your strategy, and you just reverse engineer it. Same thing with the money. I used to call it the $1 million exercise or the $100,000 exercise. and work it backwards. And I do it on an 11 month instead of 12 because for time
Okay.
off.
Okay.
So I just consider time off and vacation. So I divide it by 11. You still get the same figures. It's all still the same stuff. And then if
Okay.
you even have different service levels, you can have your vacants and oh wait, I want, how much percentage of your business is coming in. And so if you have 40%, then you allot for that in that financial equation. And then if you were doing occupieds and what percentage that, then how many of goals for that, or color consults or regular consults, whatever they are, however it is that you want to piece it
Yes.
together, you have got so much room and latitude to do whatever you want,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I can't really relate to that too much, only because I only do vacant properties under 5,000 square feet within a 30-mile radius of my warehouse. So that's actually included in my topic. Like maybe you need to find a niche that just works for you.
Yes.
And I've just really, really maximized and focused my entire energy. Hi, my name's Joanna. I specialize in staging vacant properties under 5,000 square feet within a 30-mile radius of Commerce, California. And I just sound like a robot, but I've gotten so good at specializing in my little area that I've just grown a lot from it. But this year, I'm looking to add short-term rental. And for that, it means I need to get another team member, maybe another 2 to 3 members. So that is very scary. So again, what's my goal? How much do I want to earn this year from short-term rental services? And I start breaking it down and maybe start out with part-timers. But I do a lot of team training and incentives to keep them on. And last year I started offering like PTO bonuses, and it's been helping me out a lot. So that's very important.
I love it. So we're getting ready to actually send a state of the industry survey out to everybody, because that's the type of data that, it's our responsibility as a trade association to be able to tell the industry what it is that we're doing, how many people are doing that. And I've been in the industry now 21 years.
Wow.
And now fast forward over 2 decades in the industry, people like you are you're able to give PTO or some sort of benefits, where 20 years ago, that was unheard of.
Yes.
Absolutely. People weren't even buying inventory back. They're buying tchotchkes and pillows and stuff, retail at, Michael's broke down ficus trees and stuff. But now people are buying wholesale, and it's just a whole nother business model. But I'm glad to see that. So everybody else that's listening right now, you have somebody that's about ready to teach you something about scaling and building their team. And she's literally going through it again with her own team and doing it. So this is a really important session at RESACON. If you are even thinking about looking into expanding, because this is the bottom line. As far as I know, I don't know any one person in the 21 years I've been here that can move a sofa by themselves.
No.
Even with the furniture movers, you might be able to do it on a floor and slide it around, but you're not getting it out of a truck and you're not putting it on your back and doing all that stuff. People need help with this. And even with somebody who wants to do 10 a month, or, they still need, you still, the same principles apply of what Joanna's going to teach you, whether you want to do a $10 million business or $100,000 business. It doesn't matter. It all still works on the same.
Yes, you still need a team. And the biggest challenge that I faced last year was that, not last year, but in the past couple of years, is that we're scaling, you're growing. But if you don't have a consistent team, I mean, it's really challenging to really do customer service, because every team member's trained to follow a system that you've created. So I had to think outside the box and think of incentives to retain my team. And I can probably say that all my teammates have been with me for a year or more. And that is really, really great. So I focus on making sure that my teammates have work every single day, Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 p.m. And in order for me to do that, I have to work on my business, which is marketing, business development, networking, meeting people, bringing in new business. And if I'm busy staging and fixing a mirror and putting up artwork, then I can't focus on bringing in new business. And if I don't bring in new business, then I don't have work for my employees.
So do you gravitate more towards the running of the business, the sales and the marketing and the generation, or how are you divided between the two with the aesthetics, because you're a great stager? So how do you divide what you're attracted to more?
Yeah, so I control what gets purchased. Therefore, I know that nothing in my warehouse is ugly, or nothing in my warehouse is something that I wouldn't feel comfortable using in any project. So I have some control there. After that, we have systems. My lead stager, she's my senior stager. She uses stickers, different colors. And she's like, this is Monday's project. She goes and tags the whole warehouse. This is Tuesday's project. This is Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday. And then I do a walkthrough. I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I appreciate it. Hey, you know what? How about instead of a glass table, we do a black table because of the accent fixtures and this? Oh yeah, that's a great one. Okay, we swap a couple of things, but then they go on to the projects. I don't go with them. They just send me the videos at the end of their project. And I'm like, wow, this looks amazing. Or yesterday, my senior stager sent me something. I'm like, ooh, I would put the sofa against the wall versus, you know, in the middle of the living room. Okay, they'll do some swaps, but I just let them do their thing, and I trust them, and I build them up, and I praise them for it. And if there's something that they can work on, I make sure I do that in private, never in public. And yeah, it's been working for me. So I don't go on the staging projects.
Okay, so this is something that I really, really love to talk about with people is that one of the major mistakes that stagers make is they're trying to wear all the hats.
Oh no.
And you cannot wear all the hats. I cannot wear all the hats running RESA. I don't know 3/4 of the stuff that goes on around here. Okay? I just can't. There's just too much. Yeah. And if I try, when I would try to, I am not a micromanager. I've always been in management. I went into management when I was 16 years old. It was just, I fell into it. It was natural. And I was supervising people that were 30 and I was 16, 17 years old. And one thing that I know and that I've learned over the years, and I learned it very, very young, is micromanaging your people seldom turns out well.
No,
I've made that mistake.
It's not working.
It's not worth it. So what I've always been a believer of is you hire great people and then you get out of their way. And
yes,
it's like you train them, you develop the systems, you get them involved with building the systems, you keep them motivated. And what I like, because I know you're going to talk about hiring the right employees, because I think that's key with anything that you're doing. And one of the things, the traits that I look for is I want somebody, whatever I'm going to hire them for, to have passion. And I want to hire that person who wants to own their role. Like they want to be their own mini entrepreneur within my own company. That's the person that excites me.
Yes. And I think it also involves the leader. For me as a leader, anytime I introduce my teammates to a client or when we're doing our team meetings, like, this is my senior stager. She's the best. She's the best in the world. She can stage a room with her eyes closed. That's how good she is. And this is my staging coordinator. No matter what situation she's in, she's going to come to a solution really fast. And Will, he's our mover and he can fix anything. If something breaks in transit, you can count on him to fix it. So just constantly lifting them up gets them so excited, especially when we get reviews. I'm always hyping them up, but I'm genuine about it. And at the end of the day, I think your employees just want to feel appreciated and have a boss that cares about them. So if you can do that, I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, I think showing your appreciation. I know a lot of people, I know in studies in the past where we asked, employees were asked, what's the biggest spiff that an employer can give you? What was something that you could appreciate? And recognition was over money. Appreciation was over the money. Time off was also over the money, free time. So you have to find whatever incentivizes all your team members. Anthea Click did she's a stager in Tennessee. I think she's in Tennessee. And forgive me if I'm wrong. She did one on a session on teamwork a while back, and she takes her people to an escape room for team building exercises. You can download any team building stuff from the internet, but just an outdoor trip somewhere where you go, you do a lunch, have lunch together, some camaraderie, just having a little fun, blowing off some steam, and then doing the escape room, because when you do those are a lot of fun. If you haven't done one, you got to
Yes,
go.
I have. And it does involve a lot of teamwork.
I'm totally obsessed with them. And you go in and you have to work as a team in order to accomplish this common goal. And I think as long as your team is having fun and they get, they get told that they're doing a great job. It's one of those things I learned early as well, is run around trying to find them doing something right and praise them for that. And you get so much more out of it. And you get dedicated people who really want to do a good job because they're part of the team.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that when you have great team members, how does that equate into your communications with customer expectations?
Yeah, so I incentivize my teammates for getting 5-star reviews, and for some reason, those incentives just really work. So they're extra about their customer service. Like they'll be staging, and if the client's kind of present, they'll be like, "Hey, do you like the staging? Great, awesome. Well, if you really like it, would you be so kind to give us a review?" And we've been getting some stellar reviews recently just because my team is so involved, and I tell them about the importance. I'm like, "Hey guys, we're a professional company, so we need to be dressed professional. We need to communicate professional. If you don't know the answer to something, just say, hey, you know what? My manager's on the way. She'll be happy to answer those questions. If you're going to use your toilet, please make sure you ask first for permission." I just go down to everything. Like I never over communicate. I don't think there's such thing as over communicating. And I always tell them, like, look at Amazon. They're always, dressed up in their uniforms, and they're very professional, and we want to emulate that. We want to be perceived as a professional staging company, not as somebody who's doing a hobby on the weekends. And so I'm always telling them about the importance of communication, to be professional, be polite, be respectful, and that they're a reflection of the company. So
Yep.
they
It's
all
high
seem to be on
standards.
board.
You
Yeah.
have to have high standards for yourself in your business, because that, you really nailed that one, Joanna, because there is a difference
Mhm.
in the way people run businesses. We're entrepreneurs in our soul. So we go places, and I know you probably do the same thing. I can walk into a place and you just think, why are you making this decision? Why is this a policy? And you know that if you just went in, if you just had like a couple hours, you could probably change so many things to make their business better. There's a
Yes.
right way and there's a wrong way to do business.
Yes.
And you having the consistency and the standards within your own team members, that screams professionalism and is part of your brand, which
Absolutely.
sells yourself, it sells the services in your company, and it
Mhm.
makes you known in your local area for that. So
Mhm.
having high standards are super important. Can you imagine? And again, 20 plus years in the industry, back in the day, everybody's kind of discombobulated. Nobody really knew what they were doing, and just, it was like the Wild West. And it's so different now. I mean, you have
Yes.
trucks and warehouses and workers' comp insurance and,
Mhm.
uniforms and the whole bit, and, just standards. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's standards. And I think this is exactly what our staging industry needed, because, even when I started 6 years ago, if it wasn't for RESA, I'm like, "Oh, where do I get guidance, or who's somebody that I can emulate?" And thankfully I met Michelle Minch, and I'm like, that's a professional staging company. Let me emulate that, So I just wanted to make sure that from the get-go, we are perceived as a professional company through our brand, our marketing, our customer service, our professionalism, and not as someone who's doing this as a hobby part-time on the side, which is okay. We all start that way.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, but at the same time, like, you're hiring a professional company, you're going to get professional results. And
Yeah,
that's why I'm charging
absolutely.
you a professional fee.
Right. And here's the key too.
Mhm.
We all know we all have to start at a certain level, but when you go to RESACON, and like Joanna said, she's been going, this was your fourth one coming up, you said?
Yes, yes.
Four. And she's sharing her trade secrets of how she got where it is that she's going. So you don't have to wait 4, 5, 10 years to
Mhm.
set your business up this way. The sooner
Mhm.
you give this demeanor and this profession, this image of your business, the sooner you're going to get where it is that you want to go.
Yes. Yes. My first RESA was 2019. And I remember then it would take me about 8 or 9 hours to stage one property. Now it takes me about 1 hour to stage a property, maybe 2 hours. And that's why we're able to do 2 to 3 projects in an 8-hour shift. So go to RESACON, learn about the systems and processes that are going to help you do more in less time.
I love hearing that, because I know somebody who took like 3 days to stage a vacant once. And I was like,
Three
think
days.
you're working in the negative money factor right here at this point.
Time is money.
And time and money is exactly it. And I know I had a girlfriend years ago who she got it down to 2 hours as well. Her vacant, you're in and you're out.
Yeah.
Because she had her system. She's got her bin, she's got her color codes.
Mhm.
Everybody knows ahead of time where everything goes.
Exactly.
And teamwork. It was just all teamwork makes the dreams work, man.
It really does. It really does. If everybody knows their role and they stick to the role, they get out of each other's way and they focus on what they're really good at, you're in and out within 2 hours.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is, which is why I asked you, what are you more attracted to, more necessarily the staging or the sales and marketing? Because I know for me, I would never have a staging business if I had to go stage it.
Me neither.
I just, no.
I'm the same way. I'm good at it. I'm really good at it. But my strength is marketing and business development.
Yeah. I'm not great at it. I am going to put a hole in your wall if I hang out at work. In fact, probably 3. So usually 3rd time is a charm with me with hanging art. And I know how to do it. It just, it's just not my jam, man. It's not.
And that could be good news. Maybe you're not the best stager, but you're really good at business development, marketing, getting new clients. All you have to do is find somebody that's
find the people. Staging. Yeah. Find the other half of the brain, because it's all right brain, left brain, analytical, creative.
And now that's a business.
Exactly. So it's like, even like with us, where we have both sides of the brain, we both have the creativity, we both have the analytical, but we both are leaning more towards the analytical, which is fine because we can't be all to everybody, but you have to have the other people.
Yes.
So anyway, people, get to RESACON. I always say this, Joanna, we're at the end of our time. It's amazing how fast these go by.
Yes, they do.
But any final words?
No, I'll see you at RESACON. And hey, you know what? If you want to achieve massive success, attend my session. You're going to learn a lot of top secrets that I've learned and created over the years, and I'm willing to share them with you.
Love it. And so is everybody else. Again, these are pioneers in our industry that want to share their trade secrets with you and to help you get you where you want to go faster and more efficiently, and most importantly, more profitable. So invest in RESACON, invest in yourself, trust in the process that once you come and you get this education, you're going to come back, you're going to have a whole new breath of fresh life breathed into your soul when you leave. I guarantee you, when everybody leaves, everybody's on fire. You're tired, but you're on fire. You get home, and you're like, okay, we're making this happen. So get off that fence, run to your computer, get your ticket today, resaconvention.com. We've got it all, and still time to do the Home Staging Industry Awards. So enter those today as well. Until next time, everybody, this is another episode of Stager Talk, and happy staging.
Yay. Thank you.